All right, here we go. This is actually really funny. I can't believe they say something like this, dude. Honestly. Do these companies not know who we are, you know? I constantly see stuff where it's articles quoting developers, publishers, CEOs, stuff like that, trying to tell us what their product is or what we should or shouldn't do or whatever. And I'm like, you know, first of all, like I said, my example of what to compare this to initially was when I found this article. I was dying laughing. I was like, GTA 6 publisher tells players not to review bomb the game. This is the same thing as trying to like put a 3-year-old in a room with a table and put a cookie in front of them and go, hey, don't eat this, I'll be right back. And then leave the room. Most of those 3-year-olds are going to eat that cookie, dude. You know? This is, you know, this is inciting, you know, you're just inciting violence here. You know, asking people, telling people, not even asking, telling players to not do something is basically in our heads going, yeah, we need to do this. We're going to need to do this now. You know? Or like trying to tell us that, you know, anything about your game, trying to tell us whenever we haven't had a chance to see your game or whatever, that tells us right away that we should expect the exact opposite, you know? Why are you telling us not to review bomb your game whenever we haven't even had a chance to see anything about it yet? Probably tells me there's some issues here, you know what I mean? Cookies, yeah. Crushing cookies. So, let's see what this says. When it comes to the most highly anticipated video games of all time, GTA 6 considered the top with very few games able to match the hype and anticipation. Most recent entry, GTA 5, was released way back in 2013 on the Xbox 360 and PS3. Since then, it has been released on both subsequent generation platforms and still sees approximately $500 million of revenue per year from GTA Online alone. Over the past 11 years, it has become the second best-selling game of all time with over 200 million sales. Only beaten out by Minecraft, which sits at over 300 million. Despite there being so much anticipation for GTA 6, Take-Two doesn't appear to be resting on its laurels and is concerned about the possibility of a review bomb campaign by some players. In a recent SEC filing obtained by Stephen Totillo, Take-Two Interactive touched on the impact that review bombing can have on a game, including decreased sales and revenue, which could lead to loss of players and marketing budget. Quote, obtaining and maintaining high ratings of our games on the third-party platforms on which we operate are important as they help drive players to find our games. If the ratings of any of our games decline, or if we receive significant negative reviews that result in a decrease in our ratings, our games could be more difficult for players to find or recommend. In addition, we may be subject to negative review campaigns or defamation campaigns intended to harm our ratings. Any such decline may lead to loss of players and revenues, additional advertising and marketing costs, and reputation harm. Let me tell you something. I'm going to say two things about this quote. Unless there's something significant going on, outside of significant issues that incite review bombing, okay? You'll always have some review bombers because there are going to be people that have an agenda against a particular game, a particular franchise, a particular company, developer / publisher, whatever, okay? But it gets canceled out. Those kinds of review bombs get canceled out by the brand blind individuals out there that see Take-Two as being a company, or Rockstar as being a company that can do nothing wrong, and GTA 6 as a game that can do nothing wrong. And they will give this game, no matter what the experience is, a 10 out of 10. So on the opposite side of where review bombers will hit this, there will be brand blind people that give it a 10 out of 10 when it shouldn't have it, and it will cancel. They'll cancel each other out. This is the way it works every time, okay? Just understand that. Now, on the flip side, if you're getting substantially review bombed, there's usually a reason behind it. And if it's to the detriment of your company or your product, you probably deserve it. So don't treat your consumers poorly, right? Be a good business, ethically, morally, have integrity about what you do. Treat your consumers and your player base the right way. And overall, you won't have to worry about significant review bombing because there won't be things there that incite this kind of mass review bombing situation. All right? So if you're doing things on the up and up as a company, you shouldn't have much to worry about. Again, there's always going to be people out there that have an agenda against a company or a game or a franchise. But that amount of review bombing stuff gets canceled out by the brand blind people too. Be a good company, you won't have issues. Now, moving forward, although no game is free from the possibility of review bombing, with a recent notable example being Helldivers 2, which fell from grace following the PSN controversy. Again, this didn't have anything to do with the product necessarily. This had something to do with the publisher and the platform it was on. Right? So, the game got review bombed because of Sony. After experiencing a meteoric rise upon release in February, it does seem unusual for this to be a concern considering the high regard the GTA series is held in. It is worth noting that the publisher wasn't just referring to its upcoming release of GTA 6, but gaming as a whole. The GTA series has been among the most critically acclaimed games of all time, with GTA 4 currently ranking third on Metacritic with a score of 98%. The most recent entry, GTA 5, occupies 10th place with a score of 97%. GTA 3 also holds 12th place at 97%. And San Andreas and Vice City come in at 36th and 37th respectively, both with scores of 95. It is difficult to know whether this is Take-Two Interactive looking out for other publishers in the industry or whether it is expecting GTA 6 to be review bombed. That is my concern. Why are they saying this right now? It's a little bit ominous, isn't it? Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. Yeah, I think that Arrowhead Games, which is the developer behind Helldivers 2, did go. They were like, yo, do what you feel like you need to do. Because they knew that it felt bad to the gamers for this to happen that way from Sony. It wasn't anything. They were like, we don't have any control over this, you know? And we're sorry this is happening. But if you feel like this is what you need to do to get at Sony, do it. You know, and good for them. I still wouldn't have review bombed the game myself, personally. But I respect a dev that's willing to go to those lengths, you know, for their player base. That means they care, right? Initially, whenever I saw this article, I was wondering, why is Take-Two saying this? Why is the CEO of Take-Two already saying this about GTA 5 or GTA 6? Why are they telling people not to review bomb it already? That is a bit concerning, you know? I can't help but feel that way. One reason could be if the game tones down its offensive nature, then it could be seen as too woke. absolutely, as theorized by Insider Gaming. But until we have more information, more importantly, the game on our screens, it is purely speculation. Let me tell you something right now. With this game being set in flippin' Florida, okay? As somebody in, you know, as a U.S. citizen, and I've never lived in Florida. I've been to Florida, but never lived in Florida. Just the reputation of that state, you can't set you can't set a GTA game in Florida and have it be woke. You're gonna get destroyed. You will get obliterated by the fan base. This game has got to be raw, unhinged, especially coming from the GTA, you know, family of games and what we've experienced previously, and being set in Florida. This game has got to be wild. If it's in this whole, you know, situation of being toned down and in line with the wokeness of everything, people are going to throw a fit and they will get review bombed hard. Unfortunately, since the first trailer dropped in December of 2023, Rockstar Games has been keeping tight-lipped when it comes to the highly anticipated GTA 6, which will be the first mainline entry in 12 years by the time it is released in 2025. We do know that the game will take players back to Vice City, a fictionalized version of Miami, Florida, and looks to be keeping up to date with trends, with a large emphasis put on influencers and the rise of apps such as TikTok. The trailer recreates and parodies various viral videos and figures, including the Florida Joker, who has been trying to secure financial compensation for having his likeness parodied in the trailer. This is a bit concerning here, man, I must say. Look. This is Strauss Zelnick, right? Pretty sure. It might have been a quote from him. It didn't say his name specifically, but it wouldn't be the first time that we've had some concerning quotes come out of Take-Two, you know. And like this is a recent one we had. CEO of Take-Two, Strauss Zelnick's talking about needing to increase game prices and stuff, you know, like there's not, this isn't necessarily GTA news, you know, but Take-Two, Rockstar, all that, you know, I mean, there's your link right there in chat if you haven't seen it. So I'll try to link it. I'll probably turn this into a video for the like an individual video for our YouTube channel as well, because this is quite wild to see this coming out like this. That's a weird quote. That's a weird quote. I think people should be a bit concerned here about why they're saying stuff like this. Most, especially established developers, publishers, they understand what I was getting at. The premise of how reviews work in the industry. You know, if you're creating a banger, the majority of the reviews you're getting are going to be very, very good. There's always going to be outliers, right? The vice versa, you know, the opposite's true as well. If you're creating a pretty terrible game, most people are going to review it poorly. There'll be some outliers that review it higher because not everybody's experience is going to be the same thing. But, you know, this is a concept that most developers and publishers understand. They don't need to put quotes out about it. And I'm sorry, but Take-Two and Rockstar, this is no exception here. It's weird to have them saying things like this. Yeah? This is just something that comes along with the territory in this industry of being a game developer / publisher. This is part of it. You get the way this works. When you're quoting as saying, please don't review bomb our game, it's concerning. It seems like there might be something wrong.